Hello and welcome to another edition of Congleton Chronicled. I'm Mark Edwardson and this is the TMC TV studio in the centre of Congleton. And I'm joined by James Jackson, who's the Deputy Editor of the Congleton Chronicle. James, welcome back.
Good morning, Mark. Nice to see you.
Yeah, you too. Has it been a good week?
Yeah, it's been plenty going on.
Nice and busy?
Yeah, keeping us busy, yeah.
Yeah. So this week, the edition from the 5th of March 2026, unusually, we're not going to start with the front page, are we?
No, we just go. We like the Chronicle. The news goes here, there, and everywhere.
Yes.
So we're flitting between just inside the front, the middle, and the back, or not necessarily in that order.
Do you know what? While we're on that subject, that's the one thing I love about the Chronicle. Right, lots of newspapers, in a way, they tend to sort of slightly patronise the readers, don't they? Particularly some of the tabloids with massive headlines and very little copy.
Yeah.
Whereas you guys, you don't put all your important stuff on the front page.
It goes even on the back. There's no the sports on the inside. The back page is the news page.
treat your readership with it's
right.
got some intelligence.
Yeah.
Of course, being Congleton, it has. Okay, so we're going into the third page, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and the
refuse collections are rubbish.
Yeah.
Well,
one local council, he said they were rubbish, and they were the standard of Chester East rubbish collection service was pathetic.
Right.
So really, for the last 3 weeks, up until a few days ago, residents, certainly on the Bromley Farm estate in Congleton, had their grey recycling bins out for 3 weeks without collection.
3 weeks.
And they were getting pretty furious about it.
Yeah, I bet.
When it got to the point where I went down there to take a look myself, and it's happened elsewhere, unfortunately, where because they were full, there's all plastic bags all propped up against them, 'cause, and then they were worried about animals with vermin, we're going to rip them open and all the rest of it.
You would be, wouldn't
but
you?
it's happened. We've reported on it endlessly, unfortunately, but this time it has got people pretty frustrated.
Yeah. So what's? Well, I was going to say what's been happening, but the question should be, why has it not been happening?
Well, Cheshire East say, and they said it before, they haven't got enough drivers. We spoke to Bromley Farm councillor Rob Morton, who represents Cheshire East for that area.
Yeah.
And he said he's fed up. He's fed up of them. They always come back. They haven't got enough drivers. But he says, well, they should train some more up. And he says he's almost like he's banging a head against a brick wall,
Yeah, I bet he is. I mean, he's known as Mr. Congleton, isn't he?
Yeah.
Rob. And he does do a heck of a lot for the town.
He gets a lot done for local residents.
He does a lot for this town. And if he's struggling to get things done, then that sort of tells its own story, doesn't it?
I mean, I'll make it clear that they had been out for up to 3 weeks, but they had been emptied, I think, when are we, Wednesday, Thursday? I think they were emptied yesterday.
Right.
Oh, they did an extra collection on Saturday. And then I think they were, to try and catch up, they were there again yesterday, but we'll keep an eye on that because people are getting in touch with us all the time, certainly in Congleton, about miscollection. Sometimes there's issues about some of the old, certainly some of like the terrace streets are quite narrow.
Yes.
The council says, well, people aren't parking properly, we can't get our wagons up there, etc. But the bins are not being emptied. It really, upsets people.
Yeah, it does. I mean, North Street's got a particular problem for that, hasn't it? Because it's got a dog leg.
That's right.
90-degree bend, and people have to park on that part of the street because there's nowhere else, is there? But like you say, the bin lorries struggle to get past, don't they?
And then Rob Morton was saying as well, he made the point, people pay council tax.
Yes.
They deserve to get the bins emptied,
They do,
So
they do. So
we'll keep an eye on that.
So Cheshire East are just writing it off to a recruitment crisis.
They're saying they gave us a comment saying they apologise and we're trying to catch up with the bin collections again, and that I think they are they're advertising for more drivers.
Right. Okay.
Try and keep on top of it.
Yes, I'll have to take the address, see if I can get myself on board.
Yeah. You look the part, Mark.
Well, I couldn't do it. Those guys.
I know it is.
I've seen them. They run around. They're up early. I mean, God bless them. I'm not. I wouldn't say that. The refuse collectors that are in themselves guilty for any of this because they seem to work.
They do
extraordinarily
it's quite
hard.
Dangerous as well when they're you're giving way behind them and behind the vehicle, in front of the
Risky,
vehicle,
isn't it?
All the rest.
Yeah.
of it.
Well, we take our hats off to the ones who are currently employed.
Yeah.
but let's hope that we can get some more recruited.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to have a whiz all the way through.
We're going right the way back, all the way to page 37.
37. Wow, we're on a proper deep delve into the Chronicle this week, aren't we?
Yeah. So this is an interesting story about an ancient trail in Congleton called Priesty
Fields.
Priesty Fields, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It runs from Congleton all the way to Asbury Church.
Yes.
Across the fields, and it's called Priesty because it's the route the priests used to take between St Peter's and in Congleton and Asbury St Mary's. But what we're reporting on is on the Congleton end, there's a footway application got into the council to alter the route because it goes too near to someone's house and land.
All right, okay.
But we went out and spoke to some of the walkers there who were actually objecting to the application because they think the way it's going to go is going to be across a real marshy, boggy area. And they're not happy about that.
Oh, they want to reroute it to somewhere that's a bit boggy and marshy.
The landowner has applied to reroute the public right of way that it is.
Right.
And people are happy with that because they say it's going to where they want to reroute it to. It's only a short section, I believe, but it's going to be to a boggy area. But interested in Official Footpath Society, I think it's the Peak Society that covers this area. They're not as bothered about it because they say it might make things better, and they're saying as well if they improve the actual quality of the route surface as well, it might help things. But we reported on it because it is such a well-known trail, and
I think it's quite an ancient one as well.
It is. It goes back to the 1200s, something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I
mean, I think years ago we mentioned in the report that there's a hoard of coins found there, which are quite valuable.
Yeah.
And then we also spoke to, when we were out there, we also spoke to some walkers. One chap happened to be originally from Congleton, who lives in Australia, and he come back to visit his family, and he was saying how much he liked walking the trails, not least the Priesty one as well.
Yeah. I mean, I can see how people like ramblers get upset about the alteration, let's say, or proposed alterations, because that's what it is at the moment.
It is,
isn't it?
yeah.
To what you might call ancient trails and pathways and stuff. I completely get why they get upset about it, but if this sounds like a reasonably minor alteration, doesn't it? And it's not exactly like it's taking it out of the town and back in, is it? So,
I think maybe it's something to do with people, they get regular walkers, and I think they get quite precious I mean that in a nice,
not pejoratively.
They value,
absolutely,
they value the route, and think, no, I like this route as it is. And the other point I was going to make as well, Mark, with all the housing developments that keep cropping up, there's going to be more and more footpaths are going to be, diverted. Some quite minor, some not. So some get blocked up altogether. Sometimes they can do.
Well, like you say, I mean, you use the word precious, but not pejoratively.
No.
They are. As you say, they're valuable.
They are.
And people like them, don't
they?
They've liked them for, from what you've said.
Yeah.
750 years.
Yeah. It's a long time.
I can understand why they're attached to them.
Yeah.
Now, talking of precious, from footpaths to dogs. Those most precious of pets.
They are, of course they are. Danesford Dog Obedience Club, which is in Congleton Base, has been going for over 50 years. They've got the club's got at least 11 or 12 owners showing their dogs at Crufts as the various categories. So that's a pretty good turnout, I think.
Yeah. What are the chances for them? Are there any?
I think
anybody
they're
think that they
good.
might? Yeah.
I think there's a few there that have been there before.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of classes for them to go for. So hopefully we'll do a follow-up article and see how they get on.
Well, fingers crossed for them.
Yeah. But Danesford, it's not, it's a well-established. I think it's linked to the Kennel Club of Great Britain as well.
Yes, I think it would have to be if they were to show. Wouldn't it?
For Crufts. Yeah. So they had a pre-Crufts get-together up at a hall in Mossley, I think, where they meet.
Oh,
week,
yes.
just to have a get together and wish each other all the best before they head down to Crufts.
A mass walkies.
Yeah, mass walkies. Yeah, leading the way.
Yeah. They had a lot of those little black plastic bags with them.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but look forward to finding out what the results are. But fingers crossed and good luck to all of those people taking part in Crufts from the Congleton area this week. That's it from us for now. James, thank you for joining us again today. This has been Congleton Chronicled for Congleton Community TV from this brilliant facility here at TMC in the middle of town. So until next time, see you then.